playing basketball since about the age of 5. That's been a major part of my life. I grew up playing YMCA basketball with my friends, coached by my dad. That's still a major part of my life.
Rochester Hills is a suburban community about a half an hour outside of Detroit.
Rochester Hills is a pretty quiet suburban town. Good place to raise a family, safe, friendly people.
There are 3 public high schools in Rochester Hills: Rochester Adams, Rochester Hills Stony Creek, and Rochester High. Rochester High has the most students with an enrollment of around 1,800, but with all those students, there have been struggles with sports, most notably football and basketball. Even with wins hard to come by, there is one student athlete who is known among students and faculty as a hard worker. His name is Andy Brooks.
So after I made the varsity team, I definitely tried my hardest to be the biggest asset to the team that I could. I wasn't really expecting to do much, but I ended up starting every game on the team. I was the power forward and really just played tough defense, scored whenever I could, but wasn't a main scorer.
The season was not going as planned.
Okay, the basketball season was going pretty rough. It started out, I think they won a few games at the beginning, but it had not been going really well.
The Crosstown Showdown is a game between Rochester and Adams, both bitter rivals. To generate excitement for the game, it is played at Oakland University's basketball arena. The outcome of the game was one that many Rochester fans would like to forget.
We got killed. Our senior year, the Crosstown Showdown, we got killed. There was a lot of trash talk going into it. I didn't take part in it because I knew we weren't having that good of a season. But I think we lost by over 20. I think it was.
We got destroyed by Adams. It was probably one of the most painful experiences of watching sports I've ever had.
Rochester finished the season in disappointing fashion, and the morale was not high when they discovered who'd they be playing in the first game of the playoffs.
When we found out we had to play Adams, we were excited but nervous at the same time. They beat us pretty good both times that we played them that year. They beat us by 30 early in the season and then 20 week before we knew we were going to play in the playoffs. So we were a little nervous, but we definitely knew we had a shot. We practiced real hard all that week, and our coach had us incredibly prepared. We knew exactly what they were going to do, and we knew exactly what we had to do to win.
Even with the expectation of a blowout, students still made an effort to root on their Falcons.
I still came out. Me and my buddy, we spray painted some helmets. I put on some hockey pads. I had a football jersey on, and I was in a full, I had a helmet, shoulder pads. I don't know. I looked like a goon.
In basketball, if you call out a player, he hears you. He will hear you. Occasionally you'll get the looks up there like, did you really just call me a faggot or something like that.
Spectators quickly realized they had a game on their hands as both teams battled.
I leaped in the air. I think I knocked down like 3 people. I just jumped into the air and was just screaming. Everyone just rushes the court. When I think about it, even today, thinking back to high school, I still get shivers down my spine when I think about, the sight of that ball going into the net.
Just right away, hands up in the air, just ecstatic about what had just happened. Right under the court, find Andy, find all the players. Unfortunately, knocked over a couple cheerleaders along the way, but it was all worth it in the long run.
or he actually just ran on the court and ran over some people or something. I don't even know. It was awesome though. That was the best feeling to beat. Just to beat a team that had just outplayed us the other 2 games previously, and then we'd stuck with them, and when we had lost all hope, to finally make that shot, an unbelievable shot.
I really barely remember the ball going in the hoop. I just remember being surrounded by teammates and fans and coaches and just being in utter shock. I remember not being able to move at all and just having this big smile on my face thinking we had just beat Adams, our huge rival. Just, being in the locker room with all the guys was cool, and then got interviewed by the paper, and then, I was just kind of expecting to walk back into the gym to, see my parents and head out, typical, post-game stuff, and I walked in, and just everybody was still standing there, all my friends. Everybody started chanting my name. I got lifted up on people's shoulders again. It was, just felt kind of like the hero of the school, for a couple minutes there, and it's definitely something I wish I kind of would have let sink in a little more. But it was just an awesome experience to see everybody still there, still cheering our team on.
There was no denying the excitement around school.
After the win, it kind of gave the school new life, and there was a buzz on campus, if you will. So it really kind of helped propel the team a little further.
Rochester was set to play Troy Athens in the next game, a team they had beaten earlier in the year. The fans cheered hard and the team played harder as the Falcons got a second straight playoff victory. Even though Rochester fell in the next game against Romeo, there was a drastic change in public opinion about Rochester sports.
That shot just, it churned around the entire thought process of Rochester, men's sports, in my opinion. Adams was already thinking about, the district championship. They were going to take a district title, and, Andy stood in their way. And people now think about it, and they talk about you can't have a conversation about Rochester basketball without bringing up that shot.
Andy Brooks is now attending Michigan State University, where he continues to show the same passion for Spartan athletics as he did while being a member of the Rochester basketball team. As the weeks turn to months and the months turn to years, no one will ever forget Andy Brooks, and no one will ever forget the shot.